This is Southern Cross News with Joe Palmer.
Good evening, everyone. Mona founder David Walsh has unveiled his future visions for the state, including significant developments on the Berrydale site. He's also proposing a shake-up of the signature Mona Foma summer event. Louise Hedger begins our coverage.
A rare public address by David Walsh, the philanthropic Mona founder, unveiling his new creations to a room full of tourism industry players.
It's the best idea anyone ever had.
Plans include a luxury hotel called Hotel at Mona or Homo on the Berrydale site. The 172-room, 5-star hotel is expected to open in 2022, 11 years to the day from when Mona first opened its doors.
He has an undesirable appetite for change and progression, and he's very much driving it. Absolutely.
The construction is expected to last 3 years and will employ 300 full-time construction staff with 120 full-time jobs at completion. The proposal for the hotel includes a new spa treatment facility, a retail centre, a new outdoor music stage and amphitheatre, and a multi-purpose indoor theatre that can seat over 1,000 people. A public library of David Walsh's collection of books and manuscripts also in planning stages.
I believe that this library could have the same impact as the present museum does.
A high-roller casino is also on the cards, but it won't be open to locals. Monaco, described by Mr Walsh as anti-casino, will be members only and pokey-free.
It will be designed in a way that's aesthetically pleasing to be in and not necessarily designed for a purpose, and it might have clocks even, as casinos are notoriously devoid of.
And in a major unexpected announcement, Hobart Summer Festival Mona Foma is shifting to Launceston. 2018 could see a pop-up event in the north, but long-term plans are to have it as a permanent fixture on the summer calendar.
We see Launceston as an exciting new market with new audiences and new challenges.
The move reliant on state government funding.
Not going to government to borrow money. David is determined to self-fund this, but there will be cash flow shortfalls in the short term.
Louise Hedger, Southern Cross News.
The major developments brewing at Mona have Tasmania's tourism heavyweights excited. They're throwing their full support behind the expansion plans, with the government now under pressure to help David Walsh's dreams become a reality.
Mona's Winter Festival Dark Mofo is still fresh in our memories, but now attention is turning to the Summer Festival, Mona Foma. Launceston's mayor excited about the prospect his city could be the new host.
Look, definitely will boost tourism, there's no doubt about that, because it's proven in the past that Mona has been able to bring many tourists to Hobart.
To make it a reality, Mona is asking for funding through Events Tasmania. The Premier says Cabinet will consider the request.
And we consider those things in cold light of day with my Cabinet colleagues and make decisions that are in the best interest of Tasmania. And where the Mona effect has helped this state so much, it would be silly not to have those conversations.
The Tourism Industry Council says the move would help spread the Mona effect to regional areas.
How fantastic is it that you can have Mona, which has come out of nowhere over the last 6 to 10 years, to now spread its wings throughout the state? It's really great news for regional Tasmania, as well as obviously Hobart as a city.
The major new hotel development on the Berrydale site is yet to be submitted to the Glenorchy City Council and is sure to stir some opposition. But David Walsh says he wants an extensive public consultation.
Well, the first thing I need is to believe that the community wants it, because as I said, it's not like the museum, it's not invisible. It's a beacon, it'll be on the Derwent.
He says if the broad consensus isn't in favour, he won't build it. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Telecommunication giant Optus is intensifying its competition with Telstra, today announcing it will spend $17.5 million in Tasmania, improving its 4G coverage. The company plans to construct 35 new towers across the state, many in remote areas.
For years, Telstra has been Tasmania's largest telecommunication provider, but now Optus is levelling the playing field.
Today is a proud day for Optus in Tasmania.
The company will spend $17.5 million improving its coverage across the state. It plans to boost its current live sites by building an additional 35 towers. They'll pop up everywhere from Cradle Mountain to Railton, Binalong Bay, Eaglehawk Neck and many more around Hobart's CBD.
It's competition, it's competing with Telstra, but also it's about ensuring that our existing customers get the quality of service that they require.
The Premier adding the investment will be great for tourists.
More often than not, they want to be connected with their homes and the people they love while they're in our beautiful state.
Telstra says it welcomes the competition.
We continue to plan to build out our mobile network to 99% of the population. We've just announced the Sisters Beach community to get a mobile black spot site, also Eggs and Bacon Bay and Whiteford, and there are plans for another dozen sites across the state.
Optus wants all its new towers to be up and running within 18 months, but they will first go through an approval process.
That work has started for these towers. They're all at various stages, but we're fairly confident that we will deliver those sites during that time period.
Monica Dadson, Southern Cross News.
An upgrade on part of the Midland Highway has been officially opened today. The safety improvements include overtaking lanes, wire barriers and reconfigured intersections. But there's still a long way to go to get the highway up to a minimum 3-star safety rating and plenty of disruptions for motorists.
The old ceremonial cutting of the ribbon.
Yeah, well done. Thanks, mate.
Safer roads.
As state and federal politicians officially open an upgrade to the Midland Highway.
This highway has an appalling road toll. We are addressing that directly through the application of $500 million, already seeing great safety benefits.
3 stages have been completed between Kempton and Melton Mowbray and Mangalore to Baghdad. The Southern Midlands Mayor says the upgrades, especially barriers, are badly needed.
They have saved lives. There is evidence where cars have hit the barrier, but it's allowed those vehicles to stop on the right side of the road.
Only 17% or 25 kilometres of road has been upgraded so far as part of the government's 10-year action plan, with plenty more construction pain for those travelling on the highway.
We thank everybody for their forbearance. What they know is they're getting a wonderful new highway.
Also on the radar for safety upgrades is Richmond Road. It's notorious for serious crashes, and locals say the state of this road could claim more victims. Daniel Leesong owns the Coal River Farm on Richmond Road and says with the boom in local tourism, upgrades are badly needed.
It's a matter of protecting both the local community and also the tourist community that utilise the road. It's certainly gone up in patronage over the years, and there's a lot of businesses and also local residents that rely on that road being a safe passage.
Yesterday saw a serious crash on Richmond Road that police say could have easily been another fatality.
Where that crash was, it's one of the areas that will be refurbished. There's $6.5 million in this year's budget. We're currently working with the community in the area of Richmond, and only just this week I've seen the latest designs.
Works are expected to begin in the summer road building season. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
University of Tasmania staff are threatening industrial action. The Tertiary Education Union is accusing university management of dragging their heels in the negotiation of a new staff agreement.
Our members don't want to resort to industrial action. One of the things that characterises university staff is that they care deeply about their job and about the students that they're educating.
The University of Tasmania says it's committed to achieving a fair agreement and remains in a constructive dialogue. The state opposition is calling on Energy Minister Matthew Groom to urgently intervene on gas contract negotiations, saying major industrials need certainty. Hydro Tasmania and Tasmanian Gas Pipeline are currently negotiating a new supply deal, but are yet to reach an agreement.
The Minister has an obligation to get the parties together and get a resolution. His own Energy Advisory Council told him to do that. The Minerals and Energy Council of Tasmania are saying that this is a crisis time. He needs to act. He needs to do something.
There is some time for negotiations to occur and to not detriment Tasmanian businesses, and there are other processes, including an arbitration, should that be required.
The current contract runs out at the end of the year. Hydro Tasmania says it's determined to get a fair and reasonable deal for the state. Police have charged a 25-year-old Glenorchy man with arson following a fire that destroyed a Tolosa Street house in Glenorchy on May 31. The man will appear at the Hobart Magistrates Court at a later date. Police are reminding communities around the state to stay vigilant and report any suspicious behaviour to Tasmania Police or Crime Stoppers. Tasmania has recorded the lowest victim crime rates in the country, according to the latest figures from the Australian Bureau of Statistics. The report, looking at 2016 data, says the state has the lowest or equal lowest victim rate for 8 of the 11 offence categories, including attempted murder, manslaughter, abduction and extortion. Assaults in Tasmania also remain the lowest in the country, despite an increase of 0.4%. The Festival of Voices is gearing up for huge crowds at tomorrow night's Big Sing bonfire at Salamanca Place, with 5,000 punters expected to unite for the iconic event. This year, Tony Childs is the highlight act and will lead the crowd in singing along to Alleluia by Leonard Cohen.
On the website for sure, for Festival of Voices, there's the lyrics to Hallelujah and also a rendition of the song that everybody's going to be singing, so people can practice and get, and show up with their best voice. And it doesn't matter if you are tone deaf. You're in a crowd, you'll be hiding.
The event kicks off at 6 p.m. In a bid to challenge the state government on its controversial planning scheme set to come into effect in 2018, community groups from across the state have banded together to launch Planning Matters Alliance Tasmania.
So someone can build a house right next door to you that's 8.5 metres high, is built closer to your fence, and it can take your views, your privacy and sunshine, and there's not a lot you can do about it.
The Alliance says it hopes to work with all political parties in the lead-up to the state election in a bid to improve the proposed planning scheme. Tasmanian rally drivers will have more to worry about than tough terrain and tricky turns this weekend. The country's first female national champion is joining the starting line of the State Rally Series in a special appearance.
A cocktail of dirt and gravel glistens in Molly Taylor's rearview mirror. The 29-year-old usually competes in the sport's national competition, but this weekend signals a change in direction here in Tassie for round 3 of the State Rally Series.
The roads are normally in very good condition in Tasmania, and the first pass will be probably a little bit slippery as there haven't been cars on them for a while.
This round features 8 stages, a total distance of 110 kilometres, all of it new terrain for Taylor.
So I haven't seen the roads yet, so a lot of it I'm going to have to see on the day.
Points from this weekend's rally don't count towards the national titles. Instead, it's extra practice for the main championship. Nonetheless, Les Walkden Rallying is pulling out all the stops, so the Subaru is in super form.
There's a lot of power at the driver's disposal. The WRX STI has a 2-litre turbo engine and its top speeds of 210 kilometres per hour.
You don't really get an opportunity to kind of think or to be scared or anything like that, because you're just really focusing on all the processes that you need to do to get to the next corner.
Racing takes place in the Fingal Valley on Saturday. Tom Johnson, Southern Cross News.
A new CT scanner capable of capturing entire organs in a single scan has opened. The $1.6 million machine at Launceston St Vincent's Hospital can help diagnose conditions including tumours, spinal pain and soft tissues. The facility will help meet growing demand.
We still need more services, but I see that a service such as this, a groundbreaking service such as this, can change the mode and the practice of how we deliver these services.
Tasmania has one of the highest rates of cardiovascular disease in the country. The former head chef of renowned Sydney restaurant Rockpool is sharing his skills with Tasmanian apprentices. Phil Woods, who now works on the Mornington Peninsula, has selected the menu for tomorrow night's Great Chef Series dinner at Drysdale. Today he taught apprentices how to make a good sauce.
We're going to do some really simple butter sauces and some simple Asian style sauces. And so these simple sauces can be changed and made into whatever they want. So once they've learnt those simple techniques, they can use their imagination and do whatever they want.
Tickets for tomorrow night's dinner are still available. Now let's take a look at the day's business and finance news with thanks to Tasplan, your local super fund. The share market has closed slightly weaker as gains by healthcare companies and several miners were offset by falls by the big four banks. The ASX 200 index has dropped by 4.5 points. Short time ago, the Australian dollar was trading at 75.98 US cents and 67 euro cents.
Launceston coach Sam Lonnegan has weighed into the dangerous tackle debate in the TSL, claiming the football community has dodged a bullet. He and teammate Stuart Williams escaped serious injury on the weekend, but Lonnegan will miss this weekend's clash with Clarence due to the concussion rule. Not mincing his words.
We've got 15 and 16-year-olds playing in this competition. Stewie Williams is, 24, probably weighs about 85 kilos. So as soon as you chuck a 16-year-old that's 15 kilos lighter, I think the footy community really dodged a bullet with that tackle, especially Stewie's one on the weekend. I haven't seen that in footy for a long time.
Lauderdale Scott Hill copped 3 weeks for this tackle on Lonnegan during Saturday's clash, and the Blues coach was still feeling the effects 2 days later.
I thought I was all right Monday, and I sort of jumped in the car and got about half a block away, and things were moving a little bit too fast, so I very quickly got dropped off at work, and by about Tuesday I started to come good.
With the concussion rule requiring a player to take 6 recovery days from the time they come good, Lonnegan will now miss Saturday's clash against Clarence, while the Bombers are appealing Jordan Roberts' 6-match suspension for this tackle on Stuart Williams during the same game.
He's devastated. Yeah, absolutely devastated, and rightly so. Look, he's really remorseful for what he did, but he's also it shook him up quite a bit too. I don't think he expected that time frame. So look, I heard him on the phone to Windy on Tuesday night, and he was pretty upset.
With Jay Cox still not 100%, the Blues will have one less worry against the competition's in-form side. But despite Lonnegan's absence and their most recent thrashing over Devonport, the Roos will still head into the Blunston Arena clash vigilant.
When they play their best footy, they're really, really good. I think they're a dangerous team, extremely deep midfield, and they've got some big bodies in there and are really good at winning clearance. Obviously got some dangerous forward targets who are quite small, so they're a similar team to us.
With only 5 rounds remaining and a top 2 finish on the line, Karana and Kingston will be desperate for wins this weekend in what should prove a hotly contested round in the RACT Insurance Tasmanian Netball League. Karana travel to Launceston to take on the Northern Hawks, who sit just above them on the ladder.
We had that win against them, I think it was in round 3, and I think we're going to try and take that and go from there and really show that we are a team that can aim for top 2.
While Kingston are preparing for a home court battle with the Crips.
This is a must win every game. The rest of the season is our lead up to finals, so we've got to put our best foot forward. We've slipped down a couple of spots on the ladder, so every game from here on in is preparation for finals.
In the round's other matchups, OHA take on the Arrows with Devonport set to face Burnie.
Good evening. Hobart 15 degrees today. Launceston 14, the top of 12 in Burnie, and Devonport recorded 13 degrees. 16 was the high at St Helens. Fingal the coolest with -2 overnight. Campania, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park 14 today. Lowhead, Groves, Strawn and the Islands 13, and Wynyard a high of 12. Now there is cloud over our area spreading to Victoria and South Australia. A band containing thunderstorms is over the Bight. Another is present through the Territory and Queensland. A bit of thunder activity over there as well. And there it is today, most of the cloud across the west, south and through Bass Strait. It did increase elsewhere during the afternoon. Tomorrow, Tasmania sits under a high pressure ridge. A low near South Australia produces a trough there with a second low south of WA. The winds tending north-northwesterly at around 15 knots, light and variable winds over the east and south and 10-knot breezes inland. 2 tomorrow as we finish off the working week for a few of us. Partly cloudy and Hobart 13 degrees, 0 overnight for Huonville, 12 the top and 13 for Campania. Launceston, possible afternoon shower, 11 degrees, 12 for Devonport, showers developing as well, and Georgetown the same, a top of 12. For Burnie, showers and 12, 12 also for Strawn, showers increasing, Wynyard showery and 12 degrees. And for St Helens, mostly sunny, 14 the top, 13 for Swansea, Port Arthur partly cloudy and 12. On Saturday, mostly fine after some fog and frost. A shower though over the west Bass Strait Islands and later over the far south. Another chilly start to Sunday. Similar weather during the day with snow on the peaks, and on Monday snow to 700 metres with still a shower over the west and south. Showers easing from Perth tomorrow, a shower or two for Adelaide and Melbourne, a sunny day for Sydney and Darwin, and a few showers easing from Brisbane. Partly cloudy at the moment, 8 degrees in Hobart, 6 in Launceston, 8 degrees in Devonport. Joe, a bit of a shower or two tomorrow. It means your hair's going to cool right up.
It is. Frizzy day tomorrow. Thank you, Murph. That's all from the news team. Good night.